give everybody a minute or two to get hopped onto here while I am just checking something. I'm trying to make some notes to get my words gathered in my head to give you 30 minutes of me and you. We can talk. I was hoping to do this longer. Hands are a bit full with the kids, so we may have to do a little bit of ask me a question, maybe this weekend on Saturday night dance party. As you guys are logging on, Atusa, hello. Shaheen, hello. Anahita, hello. How is everybody doing? Azita, hello. On this Wednesday afternoon. I've already gotten some comments. Facebook hasn't seen it, but I ordered a bidet because it's probably better for the earth, and I was over the toilet paper anxiety, and I've been wanting to get one for a really long time. I call it an upgrade to an afdabe. My non-Farsi speaking friends, ask a Persian friend what an afdabe is, and they'll explain it to you. But I do want to update everybody because I got a handful of messages on Instagram where I posted it that it doesn't fit my toilet. It doesn't fit my toilet. Bruce tried to install it. It doesn't fit. I got it from Costco, Costco.com. We have to return it. So I'm on the hunt for a bidet, an upgraded afdabe. So that was one thing that I wanted to get out of the way. But what I really wanted to do originally, I wanted to come and do an ask me a question because you fill up my direct messages with 452 questions, and some of those questions are things that like a bunch of people will ask. So I figured if we just do it and we do it enough, then some of you will get your questions answered. Like a bunch of you can get to answer question once rather than me having to answer everybody. But having said that, I, like you, I have children at home, and there are some days that are a little bit more challenging than others, and I do need to get to the kids, or somebody might like lose a tooth or an eyeball or something today. So thank you for being flexible with me. We will do Ask Me a Question for sure. We'll do it lots of times. Maybe we'll do it, don't forget, Saturday night, Persian party, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. We're gonna get down 7:30. I think we're gonna do 7:30, and maybe we'll do some Ask Me a Question at that point. So I want to go through some of the points that I talked to Dr. Bradley today because I feel like it's important, and I feel like it's information that you need to know. Before I do that, I want to take a moment and thank anybody who works in healthcare, our grocery store clerks, our truck drivers, our respiratory therapists, our shipping and mail people, our sanitation people, our janitors, our teachers, our volunteers, our nurses, our pharmacists. Please take a moment, because there's some of them who I know are watching here, and thank them for everything that they're doing right now. Some of us are more in harm's way with exposed to coronavirus more than others. But I just wanted to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you're doing. We could not get through what we're getting through right now if it wasn't for these amazing people that are just making the world go round right now. And how I believe, my personal opinion, that I believe we salute them, we honor them, and we thank them is by staying at home, to not put them at risk, I will get to some of the questions that I talked to Dr. Bradley about, and also County Supervisor in San Diego, Nathan Fletcher, and it has to do with parties, weddings, hair salons, nail salons, schools, your jobs, when things could get back to normal, testing, vaccinations, all that stuff. I asked the questions that I know you are asking too, because I watched some of these big press news conferences, and it's just like it takes hours, and you're trying to figure out, okay, like, what did you just say? When are we opening? When can we get a haircut? When are the kids going to go back to school? And sometimes it's just nice to be able to talk to people that you can just ask these questions straight up. Like, if you have a wedding planned in 2020, do you need to postpone your wedding? So these are the kinds of questions that I asked, and I will share some of the answers with you. And then I am going to work as hard as I can in the next few days and get these interviews up for you in their entirety so that you can hear them for yourself. So I want to remind everybody that my friends who are newer here, who are joining us, again, that we don't speak Farsi here, we speak English. So either we have one of our Farsi friends translate for you, or my deepest apologies, but I just cannot manage a bilingual account to get this information. But I'm sure you have friends that speak English that can watch this and translate for you, because it is an important information, and it may or may not apply to you. My thank you also goes to, I want to start off by saying thank you to Dr. Bradley. He is the medical director of infectious diseases at Rady Children's Hospital. It's one of the largest children's hospitals really in the United States. He is amazing. And he has been a pediatrician for more than, I think he's been doctoring, he says 40 years. So he knows what he's talking about. And he's one of those people that you go to and you talk to him and you're just calm. You're just calm and you get it. Like when I sit down and he explains things in a way that I'm like, oh, okay, I understand. Okay, that makes sense. And it takes the fear out of it. So I had a young woman who messaged me earlier today that said, ShallZ, stop scaring us. And I said, how did I scare you? And she said, with your message that, oh, there's new information. And I said, that's not fear. I don't fear the virus. What I want to know is be educated, and I don't stress. I get uncomfortable sometimes, and yeah, I may get a tad bit of anxiety here and there, but my belief with coronavirus and really anything which may lend into why you see me always dancing and I get on people's nerves because I'm so happy most of the time, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. The virus is here. There's a virus circulating. It's contagious. It is what it is. Our schools are closed. I mean, distance learning. Our parties have been canceled. We can't see our family. Some of us have lost our jobs. Some of us are looking for food. It is what it is. So you have two choices at this point. And this is my belief, my personal belief. See, I share a lot of experts' beliefs that when I interview people, I don't usually give my personal belief. I just repeat what they're saying because that's your job to believe in what you believe in. You can believe in what you believe in. But I'm telling you what I believe right now. ShallZ, what she believes. It is what it is, and you have two choices. You either get the information and you figure it out and you adjust and reduce the stress, or you go into this bubble and you let fear and chaos and stress and anxiety run you. And in my experience, that's not going to change the outcome of anything. You're not going to make the virus go away. You're not going to open up the schools again by being worried and stressed out and not sleeping. You're just not. So I'm a big believer of get the facts, get the information, do what you need to do to protect you and your family, and adjust. And I promise you, from everybody that I have spoken to, doctors, officials, everybody, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. And my guess, this is my personal guess, based on the experts that I speak to, and again, things can completely change, that by next summer, we will see some normalcy. And I know that that is hard for some to digest, but it's the truth. It is the truth. And before I get to some of the points that I learned from County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher, which I appreciate him. He's so busy and he's running like the lives of millions of people. And then he took some time to talk to me yesterday to get this information out to you, or Dr. Bradley. I mean, the hospital, and they're dealing with all these things. And then here comes little old ShallZ from Fox. I'm like, Dr. Bradley, can we sit down and talk? But he cares and he wants to get this information to you so you know what you can do for your families, and then you can calm down. And I know it's hard. Guys. I'm struggling so bad with my kids at home right now. I can't even tell you. When I saw that news come out that the county education is telling schools to prepare for distance and blended learning until 2021, or until 18 months. 18 months. Let me tell you what my face was when I saw the news. I went, huh? Did they 18 months? Did they accidentally put the one? Was this a typo? Did they mean 8 months? Did they really, maybe they made an error and then put they meant 8 and they put 18 and they accidentally put a 1. No, they are telling schools to plan, because I'm sure proper planning prevents poor performance. We don't want to get hit like a bus like we did this last time, and kids scrambling and get an iPad and get a computer, and everybody's trying to figure it out. But plan for distance learning and blended learning until 18 months. I hope it's sooner. Let's just say that's worst case scenario. But the reality is that we went from thinking our kids were going to be out of school for a few weeks, and then it went to the end of the school year, and then we thought, okay, maybe fall, everything is going to be normal. I just want to encourage you, and especially to the people who are protesting out on the streets, I feel just as blessed to have been born in this country where you get a chance to express your thoughts. Yes, you have a right to do that. Yes, I want to hear your thoughts, right? Doesn't make one right, one wrong. That's why we live here. But you don't have a right to take somebody else's life away. You don't have that right to make my dad's life end earlier because you want to go out on the street and protest. And I'm giving you my personal opinion. Today I had a young woman, and thank you, I don't know if she's watching right now, send me a video in Los Angeles. And there was a big protest today. And I loved it. These people went out on the street and said, open up Los Angeles. Okay? And I loved it. Why did I love it? Because the protest was done with social distancing in mind. They got in their cars, and thank you to this woman, whoever it was that sent me the videos, and I saw a massive line of cars and people driving by the federal building, honking their horns, waving their flag, and saying, open up Los Angeles. But they did it with social distancing in mind. The people who were protesting over the weekend, standing next to the stranger, I mean, I posted this a long time ago, but I almost feel like a kindergartner who keeps losing recess time because a few of the kids can't follow the rules. So I think if you really look at the logic, what we're doing now is allowing us to be able to open up in the next few weeks. But we have to do this in order to open up. I mean, it's a very simple concept. And I know, they know, every person I talk to, you think the government really wants the whole economy to fall apart right now? This is horrible. People have lost their jobs. People are looking for food. So I know there's a balance, and I think we have to give credit to them. We need to give credit to them. They know more than us. See, like, I'm a news person. So I know more in the news business than you're going to know more in the news business. And I don't know what if some of your professions, like if you're Like, tell me, like, what do you guys do? What are your jobs? Like, if you're a lawyer, you're gonna know more than me. So if you're a doctor, you're gonna know more than me. I mean, you might not know everything. I mean, I know more than Bruce, but that's besides the point. But the point is let people who have been trained to do this, that went to school to do this, let those people do what they're doing because they know things and they see things. And can you imagine you have all these people constantly yelling at you and yelling at you and do this and do that and do that? It's difficult to be able to explain. Yas, dental hygienist. I don't know the first thing about dental hygiene. I'm not going to come argue with you about dental hygiene and tell you how to clean my teeth and you should do this and you should do that. Nazani says, you don't think this is the game of government? Absolutely politics is involved in this. Absolutely there's politics involved in this. So you have to understand how complicated this is, that you have the medicine bubble in this, you have the politics bubble in this, you have the human spirit bubble in this. You have so many different bubbles that are going that they just got to figure it out. And you don't figure it out by having people yell at you. And you also don't figure it out, in my opinion, the disservice that you have done when you go out on the street for people who have stayed home for 5 or 6 weeks and have made themselves uncomfortable. My friends, tomorrow I'm doing an interview about the case of domestic violence and child abuse is up. Not a little, a lot. So we're putting people in these situations that are uncomfortable and people have lost their jobs. And we're doing this for the common good, that we want to be able to open up our economy and go back to work and go do the things that we want to do. But then you go out on the street and you stand shoulder to shoulder with complete strangers. It's like Chutes and Ladder. You take a few steps and then you take 2 steps back and you go down on the ladder again. I mean, I don't know. I just do know, for my friends who have been doing it and been taking it seriously, thank you for doing it. I applaud you. I think you're heroes, just like everybody else, because this is freaking hard. I know we all try to look at the good at this, and this is great. I've been gardening. I've been really spending a lot of time with my kids. I think in some ways, for us in our home, our stress level is down from that grind every day to get up and go to school and then come home and do homework and swimming. And I'm really trying to find the beauty in all this, because in a few weeks, things are going to, they're going to open back up. They're not going to be the way that they were a few months ago. We'll get there, but not right now. But this is hard. I get it. This is difficult. This is difficult. I get you. I'm going through it. I've had some breakdowns. I understand. This is hard. It just makes it harder too when you feel like you're doing a lot of stuff and then there's just people who are taking us backwards. Can I tell you a few of the highlights? And then I'm going to work on posting the entire interview, which was a little more than 30 minutes. And then it'll be on an audio podcast for you. Please, if you haven't already, I only have 2 podcasts up about marriage and bringing up children up on my podcast. It's called It Is What It Is. It's up on Apple and Spotify. I promise I'll get more up. I'm working on it. And then obviously all of these interviews live on my YouTube channel, along with my Persian macaroni, vegan style. That is going up this week as well. Trying to give you guys things that you can do, which came at the perfect time. When you look at these videos, by the way, these were shot last year in 2019 when Shaden was this big. So in some of the videos, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, he was so little. This is so little. But we finally got around to editing them and they came out at a perfect time because you're home right now. Maybe you'll get a chance to cook some of these recipes. So Darlene says, it is hard. We will make it. Yes, we will, Darlene. Yes, we will. We will party again. I promise you. But let's keep everybody alive so we can all party together. Let's keep our friends and family alive so we can all party together in 2021. Can we do that? We've come this far. We've come this far. You know, and they started to open up the parks in San Diego because they get it. We get it. Everybody's going crazy inside the house. So now we can go out, social distance. But we will get through this and we'll do it together. Okay. So let me give you some of the highlights from Dr. Bradley, and then I will post it so that you can watch it in its entirety because we interviewed for like 45 minutes and I literally can't overall like go through all of it. Water, cold water. Children, healthy children, healthy children are still doing well. Yes, yes. I love hearing that. I was telling Bruce yesterday, could you imagine if this was a virus that was attacking our healthiest children? I don't know what I would have done with my 4 babies. I would have, yes, no more Azita, no more hugging and kissing for a while. Yes, I forgot my mask in the car, but I want to talk to you about that. So, otherwise, normal, healthy children. Dr. Bradley told me even a case about a child who is or was battling leukemia and tested positive for COVID in San Diego, was admitted to the hospital. The only symptom that that child had was a fever, and that child has been discharged from the hospital and is home. This was a child who has cancer in their life, and they tested positive for coronavirus, and they went home. They went to the hospital and they went home. So this is good news, right, parents? This is one. Whew. And then obviously the kids that have asthma and the diabetes and all these things, we want to be careful for them. But that's why we don't go protesting on the streets right now, standing shoulder to shoulder to somebody, knowing that this virus is highly contagious. Because we don't, yes, shaking hands. We're not going to shake anybody's hands right now. We'll have time to shake hands. Let's just get over this hump, and then I will squeeze you all. Bimeen, I will hug and squeeze you all. And I'll say this only in Farsi. بغلت میکنم. اونچنانی بغلتون بکنم. این تموم بشه. You have no idea. But we have to get through this. We got to get through this, okay? So that made me really happy to hear when he said that the kids are still doing well. There, I thank you again for those. I said ask your questions, send me your questions, and I'll go get answers for you. Leticia, I don't know if you're watching. She had asked who will make the final decision about what happens in our counties, San Diego, Orange County, LA, whatnot. Is it the governor or will it be local authorities? They work together. They look to the governor for the guidelines, and then the local county will make decisions based on what their area. They need to follow the guidelines of the state. So if you're in California, we're all in one bubble, and then we have these little bubbles here, and they're all figuring it out and working it together. So thank you for that question, Leticia. It was a great, great question. Okay, today I posted that schools will be, should plan to be blended or distance learning for 18 months. So what that means is that we already know through the end of the year, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to deal with it. A few of the summer camps that I personally send my kids to have now canceled. So it looks like in summer, and if you have summer camp plans, I would hi. You want to say hi, princess? Come, my little ballerina, and then I'll go. Say hi, ballerina. Did you take your class online? Did you show me your ballet? Stand up and do your ballet move. Do your little ballet move. Oh, very nice. Okay, that's very nice. Oh, see, very nice. Okay, so you can go downstairs, and I'm gonna bring you your surprise. Can you get it right now? Yes. Let me finish with my friends, and then I bring them to you. Can I see? No, because I want to talk to my friends, and then I'm gonna come out and bring it to you. Go get ready. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Then Daddy has to do it. Okay, let me tell Daddy where it is, and then I'll let you know. Go outside. I'm going to tell him that it's in the garage. Okay. It's somewhere, but it's in the closet. Oh, it's not in the closet. I have it hiding somewhere special, princess. But can I find? Please, can I find it? Yes, I'm coming. Go. Sorry, she just finished her ballet class, and she did her ballet class on Zoom. So we're adjusting as well. She asks every once in a while, or my kids are kind of used to all of this now. They're not as stressed out. I think psychologically we're talking about what is happening to our kids during this time, but I'm getting answers for that for you as well. Okay, so what that means is come fall, because of the things that they're learning and things about testing and how contagious this virus is, even though kids are doing really well with it, they are also like a match they would just light this thing like wildfire. Light this thing like wildfire. Now, again, these information, when I go and I get answers for you, they pertain to this moment. Could something happen come May, June, July that will change this information? Absolutely. But I can tell you as of end of April that we have all been in the house for some of us, what was it, March 16th-ish that we all went in the house, and it's going to be like, what, 5-6 weeks? And now that's being extended to May-ish, middle of May. Things change as information comes out. So once it's time to go back to school in fall, what they mean by that, and Dr. Bradley kind of confirmed this, and I heard this from County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher as well, is that when you social distance, you can't put 30 kids in a class the way that we used to. Until there is a vaccine out or even medication that can help manage this, I pray so much something comes out. I mean, the medicine, the vaccine is not going to come out right now. And even if it does by the end of the year, we won't see it until 2021. We won't see it until 2021. Okay, so just let's accept that as the truth. But the medication, if they can find something to help manage this, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I'm praying for that. I'm praying for that. But until they do, you can't put 30 kids in a class that have pre-symptomatic, and this is what Dr. Bradley talks about, because coronavirus starts with a little bit of a runny nose, but you feel fine. Or it starts with a little bit of a scratchy throat, but if somebody asks you, he says, you feel fine. It might start with a little bit of a body ache, but you still feel fine. You might have a headache, but you feel fine. I told Dr. Bradley, I said, my husband Bruce gives me a headache. My kids give me a headache. And he said, if you came to the hospital, and they screened me before I walked into the hospital today, they do that temperature check and all that, and they asked me these questions. He said if any of their staff at the hospital said that they had a headache, they would ask them to go home and monitor their symptoms, and if they're better in a day, 2 days, 3 days, then they come back. But coronavirus, those symptoms don't go away. They're there. So that's the problem with kids, is that how many parents, let's be honest, your kids have had a little bit of a sniffle. They just have a little runny nose. That's not the reason not to send your kid to school. We send our kids to school, right, parents? We have to go to work. So even if they're like, oh, Mom, I'm not feeling good today, we're like, it's okay, honey. Have some orange juice. You'll be okay. Just go to school. How many times have you picked up your kids from school and you see other kids in their class coughing, boogies coming out, they're not feeling good? Azita, there are carriers. They take it to their school. And to not risk the massive spread of this, that is why they have to socially distance kids. So does that mean that your kids may go to school 2 days a week? It might mean just a few hours, and then they do the rest of it social distance learning. I think based on what I've heard, and I hope things change, we need to all start preparing ourselves that come fall, our kids won't start school the way that we're used to them starting school. That includes preschool all the way up until college. I hope we get good news and then that changes. And they say, no, we found something, we fixed it, we were able to fix it. And I asked him about testing. I said, what if they do the rapid testing and they can test the kids on the way in, and then they make sure they don't have coronavirus, they can come in? And he said, ShallZ, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? And he's right. Who's going to pay for every single child in the, we can't even get testing up and running for people who are like sick right now. And we're working so hard to do this. Do you think, I mean, we could probably do it at some point, but you really think by come August, it's May, June, July, August, in 4 months, if they can get testing rapid that a kid walks in, because some airlines are doing it now, you know that? Some airlines, before you board a flight, they test you for COVID right there. And if you pass or you don't pass, they'll let you on board or not let you on board. So they would do the same thing about the kids. Yegi says, these are basics. Let's hear what the doctor says. Yegi Chun, I think you need to give credit to people who are still trying to understand the basics. I think we need to talk basic, because there are a lot of people who are really struggling with the basics of this. We are not meant to be in the complicated bubble of all that, right? We're trying to manage our families right now and understand, is this virus going to affect us? Is it going to affect our families? How can I get it? When are my kids going to go back to school? When can I get a haircut? Can I have a wedding in 2020? Can I go off to school? My family, was immigrating, and immigration has now been blocked to the U.S. So, Yegi Jun, if you want medical stuff, there are plenty of sources online that you can find. Here, I'm going to stick to the basics because we struggle with the basics still. That's what I'm here for. Sorry, Yegi Jun. And I will post the whole interview so you can go back and watch it. But even in the interview, it's basic. I'm sorry if that doesn't satisfy you. But we need to prepare ourselves, parents, that this will be the new normal for us come fall. And then if you know it and you prepare it, then you're not going to be so disappointed. You'll be excited if it changes. But if August comes around and they say, hey, your kids are only going to go to school for a few hours a day, or you're going to come to school 2 days, they have the whole summer to plan for it. We're going to be ready. We're not scared because they're not telling us, oh, go get a computer and now you got to do Zoom this. We're prepared, and we will handle this. We will handle this come fall. That's what it means with kids being separated. And, I honestly, I thought about my little Shyla. She is 3. She's going to be 4. She goes to preschool. I don't know what her future in preschool is going to even hold, because I don't know how you take a class of 30 and then if they have to keep them socially distant. He said, oh, here's the other thing. Masks. They will be a part of our life for a bit. So get used to it. Use your husband's underwear. Buy them. Make them. I'm all about the cloth ones, like getting 10 of them and then just throwing them in the washing machine. The kids, when they go back to school, will probably need masks from what I'm hearing. Not the little ones, you want them to be able to breathe. But when they hit 3, 4, 5, they will need masks. But look at the reality. And Dr. Bradley said that. He said, kid's going to throw their mask on the floor. And they're like, what happened to your mask? And then you know what every 6-year-old is going to say. I don't know. So these are some of the challenges that they have to face when they're thinking about opening up schools again. So yes, there will be masks, because this is another thing you may want to go check out, and you'll see this in an interview. He talked about this little video that was out from the New England Journal of Medicine, and they took a video of somebody, this guy, and they told him to say, stay healthy. And then they had cameras and everything set up to watch the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And he said, stay healthy. And the video shows small amounts of water droplets coming out, okay? Then they told him to say it louder. And it's he said it was like a 3-minute interview. I got to go find it because I really want to see it. I'm fascinated with it. Stay healthy. And that going louder, the amount of water droplets, and when he said this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do you know in the past how many decades that I've been alive, how many of y'all's water droplets have been all over my face? And I've probably gotten sick because of that, because I've never been like a germ person. But when you, even with me talking right now, I could feel these little droplets coming out of my mouth. So yes, when we're talking, and if we talk with passion as I am right now, I guarantee you I have splattered a lot of my water droplets all around here. And if you were sitting next to me and my water droplets are here, I just sat down and I had dinner at a restaurant or wherever I was, and then you came and sat down over here. This table wasn't properly disinfected. You just sat down and you just put your hand like this. Boom. Look what you just did. Look what you just did. You gave yourself the virus. And it's highly contagious. It's highly contagious. That's documented. That is documented. So masks will be around for a while. Go grab them. I asked County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher and also Dr. Bradley, who's a pediatrician, but I said, Dr. Bradley, what if you have a wedding in 2020? Like this social distancing when they start opening it up? I can tell you based on the information I heard that groups over 5, 10, maybe 20 are probably, unless something changes, not going to be allowed. So I'm trying to they haven't come out to give a statement on that. But my hunch is that if you have any big events, I'm rounding up. Let's just say 50. I mean, like over 100, don't even think about it. Like, don't even think about it. I mean, because I don't have like a statement of somebody coming out and saying this, and I'm not an official to make this statement, I can just tell you what I heard from the county supervisor and what I heard from Dr. Bradley, who works with the county, that when they start easing on these restrictions, they would say, okay, you can do gatherings up to 5 people or 10 people. T Flan 33 says, what about getting married July 4th? When I asked County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher about getting married this year, he said you should not stop love, maybe get married on Zoom. If I were getting married, I would tell you this, with the information that I know now, if I were getting married in 2020, I would start making other plans. I would have a plan B. If things happen, that something miraculously happens in the summer, but you got to imagine, even if something happens in the summer, which I don't know what would happen, your guests are all showing up in masks. The masks are here to stay. They're here to stay. So I don't know. Do you want to have a wedding? And I mean, maybe everybody like has them out. You have a wedding with like 20 people and everybody wear masks, maybe. I don't know. So when I hear Russell, Russell, it's so hard to get a date. And I'm pushing on a date, but they don't know. They're still trying to figure it out. What I can tell you is that things will start. Look, they opened the parks in San Diego, some of them. They couldn't do it in Chula Vista. And we have an influx right now of coronavirus and COVID patients in Chula Vista, close to the Mexico border. So there are a group of people coming over from Mexico. I mean, Tijuana and San Diego, we're there. And we have people coming in there, and the virus has spread a little bit down in that area. They do have several dozen people now in ICU down there, and that spreads within families. This spreads, guys. I mean, it spreads. And I can't tell you how many stories I've seen of people who are losing their life to this, or they're fighting it. I have people that are very close to me that got this virus, and it's not fun. And it is not fun. So Patty says, how should we do our wedding over Zoom? I would recommend, as I advised our beautiful bride and groom, I was supposed to be officiating some weddings, and I had a conversation with them today, and I said, look, I want to give you my advice. If I could go back and extend the engagement period between Bruce and I would have done it in a heartbeat, because it was the best time. And when the wedding is over, you're like, oh man, the wedding is over, now what? Because there's such build up to that magical day. So if you could extend that, and have another year of just being engaged, like maybe get married and then just put off your party, like your big wedding, or just enjoy another year of engagement, so that when you do have a party, people can come, your family and friends, and they party, like they can party without wearing a mask. They can party without being in fear that they're going to get infected. I would say that. Arazu says that the doctor mentioned that the virus gets weaker during the summer. Arazu, they don't know. They don't know yet. It's not summer yet. We have to wait until summer, right? There's some viruses that sometimes it'll go down, but they need to wait and see. But coronavirus is not going to go away. It is part of us. It will be here. The vaccine will now join the other vaccines that we have, flu vaccines, and that's a whole side topic if you choose not to get it. I don't want to get involved in that. That's your decision. But I'm just, Brenda says we have a Disney cruise out of San Diego end of September. Brenda, you want me to give you my personal opinion? I wouldn't go. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. Given what I have seen right now, I wouldn't go. Restaurants, as they start to open up over the next few weeks, which, by the way, if y'all start messing this up, you know they're going to pull us back into the house. You know that, right? If they say, okay, you can have groups of 10 and 20, and the virus starts to spread, they're going to tell everybody, go back in the house. Okay? So keep that in mind. Seppi, this is where you get a cloth mask. Look, they're up on Etsy right now. Everybody's selling them. Make them. Use your husband's underwear. I use a face mask. You can go get your ski mask. You just need a face covering. You just need something that just comes up like this. That's all you need. That's all you need. And so that was the other thing that I want you to keep in mind, because I don't want you to set yourself up for disappointment. Azita, I don't know about outdoor weddings. Look, they have shown that the reason they keep us 6 distance apart is from the water droplets and the mask. If you want to have an outdoor wedding and everybody is wearing a mask, I mean, you have to see at that point what the mandates and the laws are, because if they come back and come July, they are still forbidding any events over 50 people, then you really don't have a choice. I mean, you can get fined for that. And there's some cities, like National City, as of midnight last night, made it mandatory to wear a facial mask. You have to wear one or you will get fined. And there's a reason that they're doing it, is because we're so close to the border in Mexico, is that the virus is coming over in this area. We have a lot of families who work here, and they get together and the virus is spreading. So I'm preparing for the reality where they talk about high school sporting events. Friends, events that put us less than 6 feet apart from one another, for the kids, for the grown-ups, for anybody, is not likely right now. I hope the data changes. I hope they come out with some new information, but these masks do help, so let's all wear them. We social distance, and if we can push down this curve and keep it down, maybe some of these rules and mandates will change. TL Evans says that her daughter feels she cannot get a refund on the venue for her August wedding. TL Evans, if it is a mandate, as it has been when they canceled all the events in May, the hotels will have to refund and work with that with law. It's like with all your vacations canceling, we'll deal with that at that point. But yes, Parsa, of course it goes with the universities. Absolutely. Sahar, I did ask about the hairdressers. They will be opening up soon. No set date. But when they do, it will be with masks and it will be socially distant. So your salons are not going to be packed with people like this. You won't be sitting in a nail salon so close to people. That's the information that I've been getting. Every business, from restaurants to nail salons to everyone, has to think about over the next months up to a year and possibly to a year and a half, to spring of next year. Let's just say to safe, spring of next year. How do you do what you do and socially distance? How do you do what you do and socially distance? Okay? And Le Maison says the virus is not coming from Tijuana, Mexico. They have less positive cases. That's not necessarily the truth. That's not necessarily the truth. But the virus is spreading right along the border. So there is documents that it's showing, because we have a lot of families that go back and forth, that it is spreading very close to the border. So that's why they have National City wearing the masks. So I'm sorry if that's what you believe, but that is not the truth. So Furuk says it's so funny in a sad way that so many Americans are worried about the hair salons. Of course they are, Furuk, because look, the reality is, for most of us who are not touched by coronavirus, you are so flippin' blessed if you have not lost a family member or a friend or someone who has been fighting for their life with coronavirus. You are so lucky. All you're doing is sitting at home and eating and you have your job. You're lucky. You have your job, you're working, you're with your kids, you're cuddling, you're sleeping, you're working in your pajamas all day. There are a lot of people who are struggling with this. But even for the people who are holding down the fort and being normal, that normalcy after a while, after 6 weeks, you start to go a little bit crazy. Hi, Brad Wills. Hi, Brad Wills. Oh, Brad Wills makes me smile. Brad Wills is here. Right, Brad Wills? See, Brad Wills is socially distancing, and Brad Wills is our meteorologist. He is now working and giving us the weather from home. Can you go live with me, Brad Wills? He's going to deny me. I'm not. Last time I tried to add you live, and you denied me. So, hi, Brad Wills. I miss you. I can't wait to squeeze you again. Atier says, is it safe to vacation at the end of August? I don't know what to tell you. I wish I had an answer. Did we think that come January we were going to be here in May? Did we think in April or March when we started canceling schools that we were going to be out of school until the summer? Did we think when they told us that we were going to be out of school in the summer that just we should prepare for social distancing or distance learning for 18 months? You have to be flexible with all this, friends. You have to be flexible. My hunch is, again, this is my hunch based on everything that I learned. The Disneylands, the theme parks, the cruise ships, the big things where you cannot be less than 6 feet away from people are not going to happen for a while. For a while. Based on what I hear. Now, could that change? Yes. Could that change? Absolutely. Immigration, Shireen, was a big story. Shutting down all immigration. I know there's a lot of people who were in the middle of their immigration process, and all of that has been halted right now, which we had an attorney on our show today, Salma Nasseri, and he was talking about how this is going to set back that system for a really, really long time. A really, really long time. Ozita says she hopes they open the borders for vacations, but Ozita Jun, can you really go and take a vacation right now as much as we all want to? I don't want to go on vacation and come back and end up in the hospital or with a fever or worried that my 73-year-old diabetic father could get this virus and that this is the last year of his life. I mean, we can do vacation next year, just like, County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher said to me yesterday, he said, Shelly, we'll get back to weddings. We'll get back to weddings. We'll get back to parties. We'll get back to all of this stuff. But it's not right now. I think the sooner that we start to accept this and we understand it and we stop being so fearful about it or whatnot and adjusting, the better off you're going to be. Because it is what it is. It is what it is. And if you don't agree with it, fine. Make your voice loud. Tell people what you feel, but please do it socially distant. Wear a mask and stand 6 feet between the person next to you and then go protest. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd to see even the president today was not in agreement with Georgia opening up nail salons and barbershops and the spas Friday. So, I don't know. So this is what I have for you today. What else do I have? There's more. There's a lot more. I have the interviews from all of them. I will get them up for you. They will be on audio podcast and they'll be up on YouTube so you can watch them in its entirety. It's not scary, Rahile. We're not going to be scared, Rahile June. No fear. No fear. No fear. Get the information and adjust. We're going to figure it out, and you're going to blink, and we're going to be out of this. You're going to blink. I promise you. You're going to go back and look at these pictures, and you're going to say, wow, do you remember that time that we were locked in our houses for 6 weeks, and we'll be there. And you'll be back at Disneyland. You'll be back at your weddings. Kids will be back at school, and then you're going to go, oh, my gosh, wasn't it nice when we just stayed home and we didn't have to deal with the stresses of life? So give it time. Information is changing. And as it comes out, we will get it to you as soon as we can so you can make the best decisions for you and your families. But I can tell you it still comes down to this. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. When you leave your place, cover your face. The masks do work. They protect us from each other. And and just be safe and enjoy your life and order out some takeout and wipe down the bag and pour yourself a nice little glass of wine and have a burger. You're not going to get coronavirus from takeout food, friends. You're not going to get coronavirus from takeout food. You might be at a risk, which is smaller for the packaging, but you just take a wipe like I do, and I wipe everything down, and I take the food out, and I put it out, and it actually feels good. It feels like I went out to a restaurant. So I still do that, still support the restaurants, and we try to cook at home a lot because it's healthier probably anyways to begin with, and we're managing, and the kids are doing well, and I got the homeschooling down. It's getting better. It's getting better. And I know that there is a problem, my friends, on the other side that is battling, and I'm going to end up with this, and I'm going to hop off to go be with the kids. They know on the other side of this that the mental stress that is being put upon even the normal average person, the normal average family, they know there is stress. They know that there is domestic violence. They know that child abuse cases are going to come. They know husbands and wives are just fighting a lot more. They know that the kids are in this little bit of a isolation, and there are consequences as well. They know this. They tell me this. They know there are consequences for what we are doing right now as well. And the constant balance, like Dr. Bradley had told me, is this balance of the consequences of this and the consequences of that. And we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out. There's no magic answer. There's no magic answer. It is very stressful on so many lives. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. As happy as I am, I have a wee bit of stress as well. But we will get through this, and I am here for you. And if you need anything, direct message me. My email is helloshallz@gmail.com. I have been, yes, I'm coming. I'm wrapping up.
Where's Ellie?
Downstairs. I have been overwhelmed with your messages, so I'm really trying to get through as many as I can, some of the ones that are a little bit more urgent and important, but please send them to me. Don't forget, a stress reliever, Saturday night, 7:30. We'll have a party here. It's a Persian get-down party. It's all for my Persian friends and my non-Persian friends. If you want to learn how to Persian dance and you want to come hang out with us, please do so. Coming Saturday, and we'll dance and we'll talk and we'll tell jokes and we'll just have a great time on Saturday. And that should be another little stress relief for you. And again, my YouTube channel is ShallZ. My email is helloshallz@gmail.com. And I am wishing you and your beautiful families health and happiness and less stress during this time. With all the information and everything I'm doing, I'm hoping that it's giving you the opportunity to take a deep breath. But I do want to just end with this one thing, okay? I promise you it will get better. I promise you it will get better, okay? If you trust me, trust me, it will get better. Just hang in there. It may feel like a lifetime. I know it feels like a lifetime. But just imagine when they let us all out. This is how I'm going to end. When they let us all out. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Did I tell you I'm planning a party for 2021? Did I tell you I'm planning a party for 2021? I'm planning a big party. And when that party happens, oh, hold on. Let me just, it's an ad. It's an ad. In 2021, which I'm hoping this will all be over, and then I can squeeze you, and then I can hug you, and then we can all party together. We don't have to wear masks and cover our face. Wear your mask when you leave your place. Cover your face. When all this is over, I am going to play a song. And then just imagine how great we're going to dance. We're at a party. Like we have all this energy building up. And then when it's time to party and we actually get to go to a party again, we'll be like we won't even be dancing normal and beautiful anymore, right? It won't even be like nice. We'll be like, yeah, let's just get this out. No, just kidding. I won't dance like that. because I've been dancing this whole time, so I don't have to get all that out. But when we party, then you're really gonna get down. All right, my beautiful friends. Happy Wednesday. I gotta go. I gotta go take care of the kids. Back on the Fox 5 Morning News tomorrow. Sending you guys so much health and love. Bye.